I felt like I broke it.
I was trying to say it's going in on that.
Anyways, so one thing we learned about my brother's truck, well, that we think we learned about his truck, is we think we know why the truck is still making the noise it's making whenever it drives up and down the road at like anything above 20 miles an hour. We had one of his buddies who's, you know, actual mechanic, come by and look at the truck, and he was like, I think your transfer case motor is going bad, and I think it's not actually locking your transfer or your four-wheel drive out to put it in like two-wheel drive type of thing. He goes, I think it's stuck in four-wheel drive. And I was like, okay. And he's like, so what you guys probably need to do is to change out the transfer case motor and see if that helps with locking it back into two-wheel drive. So hopefully that stops that problem and stops the noise making and all the issues with that stuff. He has an oil pan gasket leak. He was asking me to look at it. So that means we have to get underneath the truck. We have to take out the cross member. We have to drop the front axle down and then get up there to the oil pan gas or the oil pan, drop that down, clean everything off, reseal everything, and hopefully that fixes that problem of the oil leaking. That being said, let's go ahead and hop into getting this truck jacked up, hopefully trying to get the transfer case motor. We're going to take that out first. With that being said, I'm not going to show you guys every little thing on doing this. If you guys want to go watch how to take these things down or how to do this or that, they have videos like that for you guys out there who just want to know exactly how to do that stuff. Alrighty guys, we're finally underneath here looking at the transfer case shift motor. And it's what my brother's friend think is going out on this thing. So there's a cord from here that wraps around and goes into the actual sensor itself. You have to find it on here, which is right here, and you have to pry all this stuff off and away, and you have to undo this one single wire from the entire sensor. And whenever you get the new one, you have to plug this one single one back into the next one that's new. And don't ask me why. I don't know exactly what the whole meaning of this part is. I didn't do enough research to know that. But either way, we're going to go ahead and go up to the front, unplug the battery. Alright guys, so we're down here. We're going to disconnect this somehow, some way. Oh, there it goes. Alright. Now this, you gotta take out this red bolt. There's two different red pieces in here that you gotta take out. You gotta take this one out, and then you gotta come back here, pry all this stuff off, get all this stuff. Then once you get done doing all this stuff back here, then you gotta come back here to the other inner red part, take that part out, and then push the little pin out of here. That's this blue one, and then keep this blue one connected in here. And then we can take out the rest of this. So, because I've never done this before, I'm not going to bore you guys with, like, you know, me struggling. So alrighty guys, so we did end up getting both of the wires out, or not both, but the wire out. It's like playing doctor, like doing a surgery type of thing. So it was like, there's a very small pin that hooks onto this thing to help to where it doesn't release, slash how it operates and everything. Very small pin inside of this little connection piece that you gotta pry backwards away from this to get it out. And I couldn't see it to save my life, so I had to bring my light down here next to this part. These are 10 mil, by the way. Now let's see if it just slides. Oh, there it goes. Just slides right out. They did indeed have a very small light layer gasket on this, so that's what we'll do when we go to put it back on. Clean all this stuff off, clean all of it off of this side, and then we'll put a very light layer on it. Because I know last time we had to manually do this, I don't know if we ever put gasket stuff on this, so it might have been another reason why I messed up again. Either way, he wants to order a new one, so that's what he's going to do. after we get done with lunch, we'll be on our way back to the oil pan and trying to get all that stuff done.
Cheeseburgers.
Alright guys, I just took that big old skid plate off the bottom of this to where it opens this up more. So up here we have all these that go across the bottom of the oil pan that we gotta get off. A couple different bracket parts up here that we gotta get off too. And then on this side, right back there, that bolt that's right next to the steering column, we gotta take that out to drop down the axle. Now we gotta take down the transmission lines right there. Like I said, the cross member has to go. We gotta drop down all the bracketry crap for the front axle right here. It's gonna have to go. And then the sway bar is gonna have to be dropped down to where we can get the oil pan out. Alright guys, cross member is off. So now we're gonna work at getting the sway bar off. Just letting you know, I had to use a 3/8 drive 18 with an adapter for my impact gun because of the sway bar being right here in the way. I couldn't get to the inner bolts on the cross member on each side, so I had to like finagle it down to a little bit smaller drive in order to get to work for any of you guys that are trying to do this stuff. And just like that guys, we are back finally. It took me 3 different stores and I only found one, well technically 2 things I was actually looking for. We bought this one just because this is the closest thing I could find to some kind of swivel adapter type of thing. I was looking for a little bit smaller one, but this will work. And I went ahead and just said screw it and bought this big old 1/2 inch long extension bar. It's supposed to be a 10-inch one. And we have to go underneath the truck for the axle part to drop. There's 2 different parts that we have to sit there and unbolt. And I need something like this to help get into like the little bit better angle where it pivots a little bit better. And then I needed something like this to help actually reach it. Alright guys, this one right here is the last one I have to get out of the axle to drop it down, and I am having the worst luck trying to get anything on it and they get it broken free. We're getting there guys. This is the last one I have to take out, then this drops free, and then I can start working on all of the oil pan bolts, getting it all dropped out and all that. Alright guys, we did in fact get that bolt out. It's off now. We can see if we can drop the axle down and then get to the oil pan stuff. And
we're not cavemen! We have technology!
I wonder if I just use the impact on it. Yay. Alright, that's out. And now let's try to see if we'll drop down. Okay. Now since that's out, now we should be able to get to all the bolts. Alright guys, I'm not going to bore you with getting all the bolts out and all that type of stuff. I'll show you once I'm getting ready to get the oil pan out. Alrighty guys, so we have 1 bolt left on the transmission pan, but I cannot get to it. I have to go find a swivel socket because it's in a weird place that has bracketry and other crap around it. Once I get this last little bolt out, it should be good for the pan to drop. I might have to pry it away from the actual engine itself, but it should be good to drop after that. And then we'll be on the verge of cleaning everything up. And we're back guys. And one of my wife's friends, well, one of the mechanics that my wife works with, he was able to hand me one of these. So shout out to that guy for helping me out with this. Hopefully this solves my problem of trying to get to this last bolt on the oil pan. Alrighty guys, and just like that we finally got this mother trucking oil pan out. And she's a little dirty, but that's okay. Up to my brother to get everything, get it all in here, so I can do all that stuff. So, we will cut to the next time I get to work on this stuff. So, bye. What is up, guys? How is it going? It has been a minute, couple days, week, 2 weeks. I don't know. It's been a little bit since we've been back here. Transfer case motor in, so that's awesome. We have all the oil, the filter, and the gasket, and the gasket maker stuff, sealant, whatever you can call it. We have all that over here off to the side.
The next day.
I have the oil pan back up in there. I have to go get swivel sockets. I gotta find someplace that has swivel sockets because there's one socket, or there's one bolt that I can't reach unless I have the swivel socket on it. And last time to get it off, my wife's friend let me use it, but I took it back to him. Alrighty guys, I'm back. We finally were able to go and actually get a set of the swivel sockets that I needed. Well, I was going to sit here and torque everything down to the right torque spec, but I can't because it's calling for 3 different times of 18 and 89 inch-pounds and all that type of stuff. My torque wrench doesn't go down that far. So I'm just going to go based off of what the picture diagram shows, and I'm going to just use my Ugga and Ugga going down side to side, back and forth and all that stuff until I feel like they're tight. Okay guys, so we have the entire oil pan up in there. We have axle back up in there. We have cross member back up in there. Everything on the front part is done. All we have to do now is the transfer case motor, get this thing put up in there, get the wiring done, bolt it back up, sealant on there. Gotta make sure we do the sealant part. And then we'll be good to drop this truck down, put some oil in it, and hopefully she fires right up and is good to go. So we do have the transfer case motor in it, and it should be all wired up correctly now. We almost completely forgot to sit there and put to take off the old oil filter so we can put the new one on. You know what? So I'm gonna do real fast. I'm gonna get underneath there, take the old one off. So we are currently just waiting on my brother to get back out here to where we can get this truck started and fired up. Check everything, check over levels and stuff, make sure it's all good. Try to check the transfer case, see if that thing will pop back out. And yeah, we'll go from there. So once he gets back down here, we'll turn everything on and get going. It's not going out? Mm-mm. Okay, well, yeah, I'll try to go over to the low. So it's stuck in four-wheel drive high.
Yep.
Alright, so I'll get underneath there, take it all off. We'll try to find somehow, some way to get a hold of it to click it back over. Alrighty guys, after a little bit of time trying to figure this part out, I was manually clicking over the transfer case, and it felt like I broke the transfer case. What it felt like whenever I clicked it back over, like it was just freely spinning in there. The question I had was like the drive shaft wasn't spinning though. Long story short, I just said screw it, put everything back up in there, connected all back together, all that other stuff, and then I turned on the truck again. And I was like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. And next thing you know, I'm hoping that it's good now because it's going between 4 high, 4 low, and 2-wheel drive. So hopefully that solved the problems of everything.
Feels like it's taking a lot to give it gas.
Okay.
Like, this is me, and it's barely going. It should be going a little bit faster now. It's trying to say it's going 80 miles an hour.
No, it doesn't want to go forward. Alright guys, we are back home. Not very good ending to what we just had happen. So trying to go up this hill, his truck didn't want to go up the hill at all. It got up to like 20 miles an hour and then it stopped. Didn't want to do anything else. So then as we were going to put it in reverse, it started making really weird noises. And then next thing you know, it said we were driving like 60 miles an hour when we weren't. And then we coasted back down the hill a little bit and stopped, and we tried to go into drive again. Didn't want to do anything. And then next thing you know, we went into reverse again. Then that started messing up, saying it didn't want to do anything. So we rolled back down farther on the hill and just sat there for a second trying to figure out a plan. And then also one of his buddies calls him back finally and told us to pop into four-wheel drive low and high and see if they'll do anything like that, based off of the fact that it said that we switched the motor back to neutral or whatever, or two-wheel drive. Well, low started working, high started working. Next thing you know, we got back home. But I'm completely at a loss for words. I don't understand what's going on with this truck because, one, there's no engine codes popping up. So I have truthfully no idea what's going on there. But it is what it is. We're done for the night. He doesn't want to mess with it. I'm not messing with it. I got other stuff going on. So if this is the end of the video and nothing else happens, thanks for watching. And if y'all got any opinions on this stuff or any comments that y'all would like to put on here, let me know in the comments below. But again, like I said, thanks for watching. See you next time.